All right, everybody, it's the Semiotician back for some more Doomsday action. I'm just going to try another league today with the Hyper Turbo Four Cycler or Four Street Wraith variation of the deck with the Veil of Summer Bug Juke in the sideboard that I tried out in the last installation of Doomsday After Dark. I'm just going to run the same deck back. It felt pretty sweet. There's certain things that we could do to change the deck. On the sideboard, maybe we only want like 3 Veil of Summers and only 1 Greenland. And then we could play like, I don't know, a couple more Duresses or maybe some Carpet of Flowers or something. I'm not 100% sure about that just yet, but I think for the time being, I'm gonna carry on with this exact 75 here. 3 Cabal Rituals, probably too much if you're not also running like Night's Whisper in the deck, but it does help against the Chalice of the Void deck, so I'm going to keep running it. Other card that, since we're leaning so hard into the fast combo, it kind of makes sense to me that we should play a Deep Analysis in the deck. Not 100% sure what I'd want to cut for a Deep Analysis, though. I'd like to cut a non-blue card if I were to cut a card. It's possible we could cut Cabal Ritual, but then like 2 Petals, 2 Cabal Rituals just seems kind of a little strange to me. So I think we're just going to go without the Deep Analysis today again and see how this works. So the only change that I made from the last video is like partway through I realized that we need to switch our fetches. So we're now playing 3 Misty Rainforest, 1 Verdant Catacombs in order to support the Bayou Tropical Island pivot in the sideboard. In any case, we're gonna see what happens here in a Magic Online League, and yeah, maybe we'll get completely clowned. Maybe we'll do well. Let's see. We got an opponent in a second here, walloped. I don't want to be walloped. Let's hope to give our opponent a walloping. All right, let's see here. Can we get some cards in our hand? This hand is rather interesting. It's got some cyclers in it. It's looking for both a Dark Ritual and a Doomsday, though. We could definitely keep this, but if we are playing against like a Wasteland deck or even a Chalice of the Void deck, we're just so screwed. I'm not going to look my opponent up. I'm not really about that. It's not a challenge or anything. I mean, Ponder's pretty good at finding what we're looking for. We do have these cyclers as well. I've got Double Days, which isn't the most impressive. Oh, wow. This is the first time I've ever gotten a comment like this. That's so cool. I guess they know what we're up to. I think I'm going to mulligan this hand. Yeah, this one strikes me as a lot more powerful if they don't have a Force of Will. So that's awesome. And then we're going to put back... Are we actually supposed to put back Dark Ritual here? Because if they are playing Chalice, I'm going to put back the Cabal Ritual. We'll just try to play like really nice with the mana here. All right, we got a Hedge Maze coming in here. Is this Bug Beans? Bug Beans is all the rage. I have yet to play against Bug Beans, but one of my friends at my locals was busting out the kind of Bosch and roll, the Rashaka, whatever that card is. Whatever that card is with Up the Beanstalk, which is just so sick. Okay, so I'm going to go for... If they are playing Bug Beans, they could have a Wasteland. So I think I'm going to go for the basic island here. Into Personal Tutor. And then, actually, that does screw up our Thoughtseize for the next turn. Let's just grab the UC. Watch us just get absolutely clowned here, but yeah, we'll put Personal Tutor. We'll put Doomsday on top of the deck. And then next turn, ideally we don't get Wastelanded. We Thoughtseize our opponent. We Dark Ritual Doomsday, and then we do some things. The funny thing about this is, right, like Ancient Tomb. Oh, they're playing Omni? Are we dead? Stock up. Yeah, you got to stock up. And I'm walloped. Feels bad when that card resolves. It also feels bad to force it. Like, I don't know. This card's crazy. But yeah, that Rashaka's bargain with Up the Beanstalk is just the kind of bee's knees. Playing out the pedal to play around days, very smart. Something tells me this little Thoughtseize ain't gonna be enough. But let's see. If they have Spell Pierce here, that would kind of suck. Whoa. Didn't cast Veil of Summer. The funny thing is, if I would have added Deep Analysis, I think we could actually kill here. But I didn't add Deep Analysis. Oh, we could take the Show and Tell, but we also like kind of don't mind if they cast Show and Tell, I think, because we could just put the... I'm going to take Cunning Wish, I believe. Because Cunning Wish is going to let them go for... what am I trying to say here? Cunning Wish is going to let them like get consigned from the sideboard to consign our trigger. We're going to go for a Dark Ritual Doomsday here. And then, like, they've got Show and Tell. If they just cast Show and Tell, right? Like, that's so sick for us. Because if they just cast Show and Tell, we can just put Thassa's Oracle into play using our cyclers. So let's take that. Thassa's Oracle. Let's take a Cavern of Souls. That accounts for one draw step and a Street Wraith. And then... how do they get us? Like, is there something I'm not seeing here? We're going to go to 8, so we can't have 4. I guess we can put, like, an edge into the pile. I don't know if Daze is that helpful. I don't really want another Thoughtseize. We only have access to one edge. I guess 1, 2, 3, 4. We still need one more card. I don't know why we would want double Oracle. But maybe that's fine. Although I assume if the first Oracle gets screwed. They don't have removal though. I'll just make a double Oracle pile and this will let us... I think this will let us... oh, that's not what we want to do. This will let us do the thing here. We'll pass. If they put Show and Tell on the stack, I think we win. And if they don't put Show and Tell on the stack and they just cast Stock Up, I kind of feel like we also win. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Yep, Veil's good. Is this Show and Tell? Are they Show and Telling holding priority here? All right, we cycle down to Oracle. We put Oracle in. They've got an Omniscience, so then they need to kill us in response. They do not kill us in response. Oh, man. Okay. I've actually never done that before in my life, but I've heard people do that, and it's really sick. I really like taking the Cunning Wish there because the Cunning Wish lets them get to the other cards that they need, like the Consign to Memory, or even like a bounce spell in that spot. What do we want against Omni? I mean, wow, huh? So this like obviously feels like a lot of Magic cards. Maybe they are the control deck though, and I just like... maybe they are the control deck. So it's pretty easy to bring in a Bayou and a Tropical Island. And I'm just supposed to be like super fast. I can cut for sure. I think the Cabal Rituals. There's a lot of cards. I can cut one of the Oracles, I believe. I think I can cut Consider because we're not really doing Consider things. I can probably shave on some number of cyclers here, maybe down to like 3 cyclers, though that's not like necessarily what we want to do. And then I guess if I can cut the spoils, though they could have like Hull Breacher or Narset. I don't know if these decks tend to play those cards or not, but this is... we could do these 11 for those 11. I'm not super against this. I think we'll give this a shot. It slows us down a little bit, but it also turns us into a pretty beefy control deck, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I mean, this hand seems pretty sweet. Now we've got the bug juke going, which if they looked at our exile pile, they wouldn't be aware of. We've got personal tutor to get Doomsday when we're ready. We've got a Thoughtseize to probe their hand when they don't have Veil up. And even on turn one, we can daze their Veil and Thoughtseize them. So I think I like this. I think I like this. Yep. Alrighty. Let us see. We got Misty Rainforest, Lotus Petal. We don't have any protection for a turn one. Now they can play around Daze, though, just like last time. And there's the Trop Islands. Thoughtseizing them seems crazy now that they can play around the Daze, doesn't it? But if they've got the Veil anyways, like, maybe forcing them to burn a Petal's fine here. I don't really want to Daze myself, but we'll see. I assume this is going to get veiled. Yep. Here comes Veil of Summer. And I think I Daze it. So this is bad if they have like Ancient Tomb, Sneak, or Show and Tell Story, then we're in like a pretty tight pickle here. Forcing them to burn their Petal could also put them 2 turns away from it. So I'm going to try to Daze in the face of the Lotus Petal here. Maybe this sets us back too far and this is a bit of a silly play. But next turn we might be able to like ponder into like a Force of Will, and now they don't have their Veil anymore. It gives us a bit of room to breathe, but it's probably not the best exchange on our part. We basically traded 2 cards for 2 cards, but I'm back a land drop. There's Carpet of Flowers. Well, funnily enough, the Daze is pretty good into the carpet, but yikes. And my kidney for a Sunken Runes. There's our own Veil. Well, I think we have to let our opponent go into the carpet here. I just like have to find Force of Will, I think. There's the Skipper. Use Ponder's ability. No. We shall pass. And then we'll see what our opponent's up to. The nice thing is we have this Bayou. Personal Tutor's our blue card, which kind of sucks. It means we're going to have to find another way to the Doomsday. Hedge Maze for some surveilling action. Carpet. Island. Here. Oh, stock up. I'm just going to let them stock up. I could force that. But, like, Personal Tutor is something I would kind of be interested in casting to get a Doomsday, especially since we've got the Dark Ritual coming. But this Veil, I think we have to wait like 2 turns, though. Like, I don't want to just cycle the Wraith. I don't think. Cycle the Wraith into the Doomsday. The issue with the Personal Tutoring, though, is that it takes the blue card from our hand for force, which I don't particularly like. Let's see what this Ponder does. That should tell us they did not use it, so they like the contents of their hand. This is a really tough spot for us, right? Like, we know the card underneath. So we know the card underneath. I don't think we can just go shields down here, can we? We go shields down, we're just dead to Omniscience. But maybe, like, they probably have a way to protect their Show and Tell anyways. I'm just going to go for it, like, go for the Doomsday. I mean, we could cycle, put the Doomsday on the stack, force them to burn their interaction on our Doomsday, but I don't think I like that. I'd like to wait with Veil up. If they have a window to kill us here, and I'm totally fine with them doing that. I just feel like If we don't cast the personal tutor, we're drawing like a polluted delta next turn, which is not good. They just stocked up. Like they have to have it, right? They're gonna show and tell omniscience us here, and yeah, I'm assuming that's what's gonna happen. I would really like it not to happen, but especially like they didn't shuffle with their ponder either. This is so risky, but I feel like, you know, if we can thread this needle, like if they're scared that I just have everything, then this is like good for us. Okay, so here comes the carpet into one blue mana, maybe. There's the blue mana. Are we gonna see? We just need a with intel here. Yeah, here comes the skipper. Oh, it's stock up. Okay, okay. Not the best for us, but not the worst either. There's the Doomsday. Let's play Tropical Island. Let's play Dark Ritual. I'm just going to spew here. We've got Doomsday. And then, if there's a blue card on top of our deck, we're in an all right spot here. Let's see what they want to do about this. But I actually don't really like this blue-green matchup from the Doomsday perspective. They've got Spell Pierce. Let's cast Veil of Summer. Whoa, is Veil in? Did Veil just resolve? Are we off to the races here? I think we're off to the races here. We just cycle into Brainstorm, right? They can't cast... Do they have Mind Break? They don't play Mind Break Trap. There's no way. I think Bob's our uncle. How did this work? Crazy. Okay. Brainstorm, Thoughts, Oracle. They're tapped out of Consign. I don't think anything matters anymore. The Veil of Summer juke. I mean, I don't know if it was actually a juke, but yeah, this is the thing. Let's do it. Let's collect the cards that we're looking for. So we cut Consider, so we have to use the Ponder here. Cycle into Brainstorm. Yeah, this would be the skippers. Maybe they've got something I'm not thinking of. We put this on the bottom. Put these like this. We cycle. We cast Brainstorm. How does this work now? We put back Duress with Ponder on top. We cast Lion's Eye Diamond. Hold Control. Cycle Street Wraith. Crack this for triple blue. We draw Ponder, and then we Ponder, rearrange our deck, put Oracle on top. I wonder what was in their hand. But yeah, we like definitely got away with something here, I feel like. No interaction. Duress on the bottom, Thassa on top. Don't shuffle. Cast Oracle. Do they have Submerge? All right. We got there. The Oracle got there. We got to do the show and tell thing. I've been talking about this achievements list, and it's possible that the put Thassa's Oracle into play off the show and tell is a good way to... It would be a good achievement to have on the list. I'm sorry, the last iteration with this deck was Doomsday After Dark, and now it's like Doomsday in the morning. And I'm only like about halfway into my coffee here. So I might get more chipper as we proceed. Some of my sentences are half formed, and that's because I'm half awake. We've got a Force of Will with no blue card. We've got a Spoils of the Vault. We've got an Edge of Autumn. We've got a Thoughtseize. Sure. This one will have to work into something. This hand's not like that good. Tundra, okay. Ponder, okay. This is like the kind of hand you can keep, I think, against blue-white control, though, where we can just draw some number of things. Really got to hope this isn't Stifle Knot, though. This version of the deck is like very bad against Stifle Knot. So yeah, I mean, we don't talk about Stifle Knot here. Well, that is a skipper, isn't it? So if this is Stifle Not, there's a few things we have to worry about. Game one, we cannot beat a resolved Doorkeeper Thrall. We just cannot beat that card game one. And we've only got two Thought Seizes in our deck as well. Um, so we don't have access to basic Swamp here because we have Misty Rainforest. So I think I'm just going to lead on Underground Sea, and I'm going to Thought Seize my opponent. Okay, so this is Esper Control, not Stifle Not. We can breathe a bit of a sigh of relief there. There's an Orcish Bowmasters, which I don't particularly want to play against. Prismatic Ending is meaningless. Kaito can be good if something like the Bowmasters is around. Brainstorm's the most threatening card, but we might need to... I think I'm just going to take the Bowmasters, though leaving them with Brainstorm seems so good. But the Bowmasters can just... That's the kind of card that... I mean, we have the spoils in the hand, which you could say beats it. But I kind of just don't want to start getting chipped down, especially when they have a Kaito in hand. We'll give them their Brainstorm, which is like obviously really good. I probably should have taken the Brainstorm, but they're just passing here. They don't quite know what we're up to. I think in this spot, I don't even know that I cycle a Wraith here. I don't really want to give up the gun about what we're on. I assume they're going to go for an end of turn Brainstorm. Oh, they're just going for a fetch. Okay. Okay. Yep, they're getting a Surveil land. So they're taking the same course of action that we're going to be taking here. Triple Cycler in hand is pretty cool. There's a Wasteland. That's like really bad. If they waste us... Part of me just wants to spoils here for Dark Ritual. What does that look like? Let's do this. We'll sack the edge in response to cycle it to at least exchange that for a card. There's the blue card. Okay. So the Wasteland can resolve. And now do I want to cast Spoils of the Vault? That's the question. I could Spoils of the Vault name Dark Ritual. It's possible we die. But if we don't die, we might be able to win next turn depending on what their Brainstorm shows us. I think I'll let this mana go. Well, you know what? You know what? Let's see if we can have an accident. Let's cast Spoils of the Vault, shall we? Opponent's going to Brainstorm in response to the spoils. Do they have one unknown card in hand? Am I supposed to force this Brainstorm? How all in are we? Force the Brainstorm, name Dark Ritual, draw a Dark Ritual, or Dark Ritual in hand, draw a card for turn. We're so all in here. I'm going to force the Brainstorm. See if there's going to be an accident. Was it literally the top card of our deck? Okay. Okay. And now we Undercity. Would you look at that? The two cards we wanted were just on top of our deck anyways. All right. Yeah, I really like that spoils now. I really like that spoils. You kind of got to live on the edge of your seat, folks. But fuck yeah, this is so sick. This is like... This is so sick. What am I doing? What am I doing? This is right? Feels right. It certainly feels right. I don't know why this wasn't just a land, but certainly could have been one. Street Wraith. Consider on top. Lion's Eye Diamonds. Hold Control. Cycle Edge. Crack this for triple blue. Cast Consider. Bin Street Wraith. Play Oracle. Main deck consign opponent. Yep. Wow. Okay. So like, I mean, that was so sick. It was so sick. Right? It was so good, right? They put the brainstorm on the stack. We knew there was only one unknown card. It's like I would rather just try to kill them right here. We just force the brainstorm, spoils them. And then, I mean, yeah, even if the Dark Ritual, like, I mean, that was so sick. That was so sick. We got there. Spoils of the Vault, busted magic card. And now they've, like, looked at our discard pile. They noticed that we are not playing green. And we're going to juke in our Barrogoyfs, the Veil Goyfs. All right. And I think we actually cut Underground Sea when we're playing against a Wasteland deck. And we go up to 17 lands. How does that sound? Okay. We could cut Authorical. I think we're fine to cut all of these Cabal rituals. They're just like patently not the best against this kind of strategy. We're on the draw, so I could see cutting like a Daze potentially. I can see cutting a Ponder. I actually kind of don't mind having the spoils in the deck. We can probably cut, but I kind of like the Street Wraiths against. They are an Orcish Bowmaster deck, so I think we can cut down to 4 Cyclers, which is the normal amount of Cyclers. We slow down just a teensy bit. Then there's still like 2 more cards. I guess a second Personal Tutor. And it could actually be Spoils Oracle. I don't hate that, and we can readjust if necessary. Let's do a quick sort by mana value here. Yeah, I mean, this seems pretty sweet, right? Let's go. This hand is looking for a Doomsday. But we've got like, we're pretty well set up when we find it. I'm going to keep. There's the Undercity Sewers. Bin Swords to Plowshares. No Barrogoyfs here, friend. This is the other advantage of playing this deck, right? People think that you still just play creatures, because most Doomsdays decks do. And then you just kind of, you just kind of show them the goods. Now, they're a Wasteland deck. Do I actually want to duress my opponent here? I kind of just want to pass. Is that insane? How insane is that? I don't think it's that insane. So we can just veil them if they thought sees us, right? I guess I should have played the Petal, though, to play around the Daze on our Veil. I was like complimenting Wallop's play. So yeah, they're going to Daze us here, and I'm going to be a fucking idiot for not playing this. I was like, Wallop was so good, always playing out their Petal to play around the Daze on the Thoughtseize. I think we go for Tropical Island here. Oh, we play green now. And yeah, we got him. Okay. I mean, if they look through our exile pile, they didn't see us on green. This is like the greatest juke of all time. Juking our opponents. You guys second Sewers? No. Cameo. Tameo's fine. We don't force the Tameo, but it can be annoying. We're going to need to find our Doomsday rather quickly here. Let's just hope it's in the top 3. We'll go for an any order shove. Okay. All that is a little unfortunate. Cast Petal. I think I'm going to duress my opponent now. Let's just take a look at what they've got cooking over there. Kaito, Ponder. Sure, we'll take the Ponder, leave them with 2 Kaitos. Kaito's coming in. That much is sure. And then we really just need to find a Doomsday. And if they Kaito us here, like they're not even representing consigned to memory anymore. So if we can do the old rippy rip. Making clue, are they doing the ding dang doom? They're doing the bing bang boom. The kind of shit I'm on you can't understand. Yep. Kaito's in Shizuki. The Bane of Nightmares. Surveil 2 draw card. Yeah, that's pretty good. What do they do with their surveils? I want Doomsday so bad right now. Can you give your daddy a Doomsday? If we don't find Doomsday this turn, we're going to be one on top, one into the bin. Okay. Okay. Kaito's a very good magic card, isn't it? Doomsday. Wraithy Wraith. Okay, Wraithy Wraith's good. The Wraith is good. Does the Wraith mean that we can consider before? I'm going to start with a brainstorm here. Okay, this isn't good. This is not the best. Is it one deeper? Doomsday. Ugh. Okay. So now things get a little precarious, right? Now things get very challenging. We did not find the Doomsday in all of our cantrips. Here comes the Kaito in again. Still not dead, but like Bowmasters, Consigns, Force of Wills. Now there's more to worry about than I'd like to admit, or than I feel like we might be able to adequately play around. Thoughtseize, sure. Take the Force of Will. I think this one's lost now. This one's gone on too long. Here comes the Tamiyo again. Doomsday? Doomsday? Yeah, I'm just not finding the cards we're looking for. Flooded Strands. Brainstorm. Flip Tamiyo. So yeah, there was a turn. The turn the Kaito came down, if we found the Doomsday there, I think we win. And now it was fine to play to that spot. Like we were kind of doing everything to set up for that, and we just didn't find the Doomsday on that critical turn. And then we've crossed that threshold that I like to talk about, which is when things go from being within the realm of possibility to the all realms, all doors just being completely closed in your face. And you just succumbing to the value that's just snowballed. That's what it's like playing Doomsday. You have to win before we're like on the cusp of that threshold. Veil of Summer's not bad. Let's cycle a Street Wraith here. If we can find Doomsday. I guess we're like pretty all in. We're pretty all in. And now I think, yeah. And now I think it's too late. My pun's probably like, what the hell's going on? I'm just trying to confuse Snappy over here. Oh, yes. We got nothing. They go for the fawn. All right. Okay. I don't think I really want to change anything. We weren't even on two personal tutors there. We got pretty unlucky not to find a Doomsday in all those cards. Oh, these things happen, right? Am I supposed to have Spoils of the Vault? They can have like something like a Narset. Something like a Narset. Sort by color. Sort by mana value. Do I even want Force of Wills against this opponent? Or am I just supposed to be like a Veil gamer? I think I want Force of Wills. I think I'm going to run back the same. I could see the Spoils is something that I'm not sure if it should be in the deck here or not. I'm going to keep this one. This hand's sick. Do I just Doomsday them with the Veil backup here? I then save the Thoughtseize for the following turn. I kind of don't mind Dark Ritual Doomsdaying them here with the Veil back up. Okay, it's in. Jesus Christ, it's in. Okay, so now what? Now what? We want Cavern. We want Thassa. Misty Island. Oh, this is a tough pile. This one here is a tough pile. I don't know if I can get like a Jace set up here. If next turn I just went Veil of Summer. Okay. I kind of feel like something like this is going to have to be enough. I'm not 100% sure. Let's put Cavern on the bottom. Oracle on top. If they've got Wasteland, that's fine. Flooded Strand, okay. If they go for Thoughtseize here, I'll Veil them. Draw Street Wraith. I think I'll just pass. They're going to Brainstorm, that's fine. Not exactly sure. There's a Tameo. Tameo's fine. What happens if I Street Wraith cycle into Brainstorm now? I kind of don't mind that. Cycle Street Wraith. Cast Brainstorm. And now I can Thoughtseize my opponent. Underground Sea. Oracle on top. Thoughtseize you. Oh. Wizard. Oracle? I think we got there. There we go. All right. Yep. GG, Snappy. That was sick. We got there. That was a I didn't really like talk out that pile. I probably should have. It had some options to it with the Brainstorm. I don't know. I just looked at the pile and I was like, I feel like something like this might work. And I usually play Doomsday on feeling. You can be like much more scientific about things than I am, but like sometimes I like pick the 5 cards and click OK before I know exactly what I'm like supposed to be doing with them. But that could be like really problematic, obviously. And you've seen me make probably many mistakes on this channel as a result of that. But that was one of them where it worked out. We had a lot of things. We could veil things. We could take consigns. You know, we had all the skippers at our disposal there, and we skipped and snapped, you might say. So far, I'm actually like just going back to this Eternal Weekend deck. Like this is basically the list that I ran at Eternal Weekend, right? It's except for the sideboard. The 75 minus a few fetches is exactly the same as I played at Eternal Weekend. And when I was kind of drinking last Friday night and sitting down and feeling nostalgic, I was like, you know what? Like the format really hasn't changed at all since Eternal Weekend. A few things have been trimmed. Maybe Reanimator's like no longer at the forefront, but there still are those 3 main pillars in Ancient Tomb, Combo, and Tempo. And this deck seems pretty decent at fighting against those pillars. Pastrata. Oh, man. Okay. Well, we've got a bunch of skippers here. We'll keep this hand. Mono Black Doomsday. So this is a turn 1 Thoughtseize, probably off Basic Swamp, into turn 2 Doomsday. Cycle for Petal, cycle for Brainstorm. Bob's your uncle, potentially. Bob could be our uncle. The nice thing about this hand, too, is if our opponent just goes Chalice, we actually don't care that much, and this is the value of Cabal Ritual. I think we kind of love to see a Windswept Heath, but I could be wrong. I think we kind of love to see a Savannah, but could be wrong. Green Sun Zenith for Dryad Arbor. Alrighty, we are off to the start. We are off to the races, folks. I guess we're supposed to Thoughtseize them, right? Let's take their endurance. We'll get the basic swamp there because I don't want to get fucked by a wasteland. Okay, there's no endurance in sight. There's no Swords to Plowshares in sight. We take crop rotation because that can get Talon Gates. Crop rotation gets Talon Gates, which will turn off our win on the next turn. Because what I'm foreseeing we do next turn is we go Cabal Ritual Doomsday, cycle into Petal, cycle into Brainstorm, and then draw into LED Cycler Oracle. And yeah, they're playing the Cub here. And they're playing the Thespian stage, and now like this does not represent crop rotation, and so I think we win. Unless they drew exactly endurance, but does the third cycler, what the fuck? This deck is insane. Okay, let's go a Cabal Ritual, a Doomsday. Can we beat endurance here? We can't we can't quite cycle. I don't know. Like we could even just cycle into like pedal Oracle and jam it. But we might as well, I don't know. I'm just gonna do this. If they have the endurance, they have the endurance. And then there'll be 1, 2, 3 cards left in our deck. There's probably is a way. Bing, bang, boom. Kind of shit I'm on. You can't understand. Hopefully, I don't get a copyright violation for saying a couple of lines from a Kendrick Lamar song. The brainstorm. The brainstorm. Wow, we can even go empty in case they drew like solitude. I guess we go empty, right? Hold control. Cycle. Cycle. Triple blue. Draw. Oracle. Boom. We actually might have just been able to like beat endurance by baiting the endurance and then cycling through the rest of the pile back down to the Oracle. Funnily enough. But yeah, many ways to skin that one. Having a bunch of cyclers in your deck. I mean, I'm really here to say it. And even at Eternal Weekend, like Kai was onto something, I think, when he's talking about playing these 4 cyclers. It just feels so good. It just feels like you can just whatever you need, you just get post Doomsday, right? Okay, we don't really have much for this matchup. They could have Disruptor Flutes, so let's bring in Jace. There's like a sweet pile, right, where you can like crack LED for triple blue with a Spoils of the Vault on the stack, and then if your opponent flutes Oracle, you get Jace. If they flute Jace, you get Oracle. Pretty sick. Okay. Focus. What do we want against this opponent? We want Jace. I could see bringing in these Lotus Petals, just get a little quicker, an even quicker gun in the West. So this is like another thing where the sideboard, we could just have 2 more Thoughtseizes in the sideboard, and that's better for endurance than having Duresses. Something to consider. Don't need Veils. We might want Force of Negations, but I think, okay, we don't need Cavern of Souls. We can probably cut one of the Oracles, and then maybe like one of the Dazes. We just load up on mana. And then there's like the Force of Negations we could bring in if we see things like Sphere of Resistance, Choke, like those kinds of cards. But I think I'm just going to do it with what we've got here. This one, we can keep it. We've got the Doomsday. Don't have any means of protection. They're obviously going to be running some number of endurances. Here's a Mox Diamond. Pitching planes into flagstones of Tricare into an Elvish Reclaimer. Yeah, that one's a bit annoying, not gonna lie. So now it's like, now we find ourselves in the old predicament, right? Which is, do we want to expose ourselves to Wasteland or not? We have so much mana in our deck. I think I'm just going to get the island, which lets us guarantee, hopefully, cast all of these. It does feel bad if we don't find a ritual, but we'll find a ritual. Yeah, see? And I think I don't mind. The problem is that we can't use spoils. This is what, like, people say spoils beats endurance, but spoils does not beat endurance if they have an active Elvish Reclaimer, which gets Talon Gates. But we will take these cards. We'll pass. So now we've got Dark Ritual Doomsday plus Cycler. And I guess the Cycler gets Force of Will, which can beat endurance. Is there any way that we can beat an endurance with just what we have right now? Dark Ritual Doomsday, cast Brainstorm. I think we're going to Dark Ritual Doomsday here. Does that make sense? We won't play into Mindbreak Trap, so we're going to Dark Ritual Doomsday, but we're not going to win the game. So we're going to want a Force of Will, and then we could just spoils to Oracle. So Force of Will, pitch Consider, play a land. Play a land like Brainstorm. Force of Will on top, Oracle on the bottom. We could just put spoils between the two. Then something like this, maybe? Yeah. I think I like something like this. Oracle on the bottom. Force of Will on top. And then Jace, LED, spoils, Force. This beats Disruptor Flute as plus endurance, I think. As long as the Oracle's on the bottom. We're at 9. What are they getting? Hopefully it's not Ghost Quarter. If they have Ghost Quarter, are we fucked? And they just get Savannah? Lush Portico. Okay. Kept the card on top. That's kind of scary. Is this a Thoughtseize? I think we just let this go, right? Let it go. And taking the Brainstorm does suck a little bit here. They need like Endurance green card plus Endurance. Taking Brainstorm, smart choice. I think I'll just cycle in the end step. We don't want to burn the Consider, obviously. Okay. Let's cast Spoils of the Vault. Thassa's Oracle. Let's play this. And we've got Force in hand for your Endurance. Or at least that's what I'm hoping. You need Endurance, green card Endurance, but if you've got that, like, by all means, Oracle's in. Or I guess they could have Endurance plus Mindbreak Trap here. I don't know. My cards are on the table. I don't have days. Heck yeah, let's go. Oh, this deck is so sick. I feel so in my element. This is how I felt at like EW, just fucking putting Doomsdays on the stack and cycling through the piles. Feels good. It certainly feels good. So we beat Omni, we beat Esper, and we beat Omni, Esper, and we just played against it. Green-White Depths. We'll be back for the next 2 rounds. I'm just going to take a tiny little breather, maybe make a second coffee if I'm not chipper enough. I'm going to feed one of my little clowns so she's not interfering with our Doomsday practices. I will be back shortly. Alrighty. Cats are fed. Got a second cup of coffee. Do some box breathing, calm the nerves, you know? And let's see if we continue the average Scott thing of just 3-2ing every single league he ever plays, because that's just how I roll. It's not a bad way to roll. It's just a very slow way to roll. But, you know, progressing at a turtle's speed is fine, but we are poised for greatness here. And let's see if the wheels fall off, or if we can continue drawing good hands and making solid piles. The Legacy Challenge just started, notably as well, so it might take a bit longer for us to find an opponent. Maybe I'll play a challenge one of these days, but I'm not super. I don't know. I'm not super big on them. They take up a big chunk of the day, and I usually, can find time to play Magic for like an hour and a half or 2 hours in a day. But to sit down for an entire Sunday afternoon is just too much when you got other things to do in your life, like read for your postdoc, write for your postdoc. I also do rock climbing. We sometimes do that on Sunday afternoons. Got some chores, some cleaning. But today we're starting with some coffee and some doomsdays. We'll get our piles in order, and then we'll get our chores in order after that. At least that's the plan anyways. Yep. Nobody playing Legacy anymore. Everybody's playing the challenge. We got an opponent. Orzhov Control. Oh man, we've been playing against Orzhov Control maybe the most out of anybody on this channel, but they do not have a Yorion today. Is Orzhov Control not playing Death and Taxes? Oh, there's the Yorion. There's the Yorion. We're on the play. This hand's it's not quite exciting enough, I think. I'm gonna mulligan it. This one's kind of cool. I think we'll keep that. We'll put Personal Tutor back. Done. But I guess we're like pretty far from casting Doomsday. So we've got to ask ourselves, like, are we just grabbing Doomsday here? I think I'm going to. I'm just going to grab the Doomsday. Maybe next turn we can brainstorm into a dark ritual. We have more rituals in our deck than we have Doomsdays. We have 7 rituals in our deck. Okay. Tapped land, go. Draw Doomsday. Play land. Pass, I think. I mean, I could cast Brainstorm here. Yeah, let's do it. Let's cast the Brainstorm. We'll put a Daze and a Brainstorm back, I think. I could have hid the Doomsday from a Thoughtseize. Basic plane. So they've got Thalia here, which we will Daze. Force of Will. I kind of am just looking for a dark ritual, right? Consider. Still kind of just looking for a dark ritual. Yeah, let's cast the Consider, see if we can find one. Doomsday to bin. There it is. Ding, ding, ding. There she is. All right. With the Daze, which is just perfect. Just perfect. I don't think I'm going to play around anything here. Besides Solitude, but we're going empty here. So we will go empty. The Street Wraith, I don't think they're going to burn us. Consider. Brainstorm's already in hand. I think this is how we do it. I think this is how the Kuke crumbles. Oracle on the bottom, Wraith on top. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Control. Boom, boom, boom. A boom. A boom. Boom. Bang. All right. Dig and you shall receive, folks. Dig and you shall receive. Okay. Orzhov controls. Orzhov controls. Lotus petals. possible we want Force of Negations. Stops Deafening Silence, stops some other cards that can be problematic. We don't might not want all four fawns though. And then Jace. Are they going to be playing Disruptor Flute is the kind of question we should be asking ourselves. We certainly don't want Cavern. Like, everything else is just sick though, isn't it? Cavern for a Petal. I could see trimming like a Daze. Do we ever need a double Oracle pile against Death and Taxes? I don't really think so. In which case, oh, we do want Spoils though because they could have the draw preventer. The draw preventer is the one we really don't want to see. Am I missing something? Like, I feel like so Spoils is actually good. I guess Thoughtseize like really isn't that good against Death and Taxes. So what if sort by mana value? What if we played something like this? How clean does this look? We're down to just one Oracle. That's the kind of skipper we've got to wonder about. Like, is that the way we want to do this? I kind of want one Thoughtseize. Let's try this. We're gonna try it like this. See how it goes. I mean, wow, right? If they turn one Thoughtseize me, I'm forcing Aether Vial. Do I just try to turn one them here? Would that be crazy? Would that be crazy? Dark Ritual Doomsday. Like, we've got Force in hand, right? Like, what if we instead built a pile like this? We're going to go to 9. What if we just built a pile like this? I think this is what I want to do. I think this is what I want to do. And we have like cyclers now that we can beat even Spirit of the Labyrinth. So if they wasteland us, we're going to edge. Yeah. Edge. They pass. Untap, upkeep. Draw. Play this. Cycle. I guess I'll just fetch now. Cycle. Lotus Petal is first spell for turn. Then an Oracle with Force of Will backup. I mean, yeah, that was pretty sweet. All right, we are 4-0. Almost 4-0-8-0. Snappy took a game from us. And we're going to go on to the final round here. I mean, I actually really like this deck. I actually don't know why I stopped playing it. Like, I did really well at Eternal Weekend. Then I just like stopped playing this version of the deck and I just started playing other versions of the deck. Because I thought that Vexing Bauble was so important. But when in my drunken stupor the other night, I thought to myself, what if I played 4 Veil of Summers in the sideboard in place with the Vexing Baubles? Suddenly things started to come into view. This is where we're going to get paired against Rug Delver in the last round. We're not going to have our Barrow juke because we're choosing to play these Veil of Summers instead, and then we're just going to get shredded by Lightning Bolts. But we got to hope that the new Sultai Beans deck is keeping the Rug Delver players at bay. I'm actually like really been enjoying the format since the bans happened. Doomsday's such a fun deck as long as they just never touch like any of the key cards. It would be funny though if they like randomly at some point ban Thassa's Oracle, then I have to start playing like Bug Doomsday with Glarb and Jace, which is something that I have a list that I'm cooking up that we're gonna try eventually. Maybe the next Doomsday After Dark, edition will just be me playing a Yorion Doomsday deck with like 4 copies of Glarb Calamity's Augur, and then like Beanstalks and this Rashaka's Bargain, because you can cast Rashaka's Bargain off the top of your deck with a Glarb into the beans for massive value, and we could play this like slow, begrueling Bug Doomsday deck. A blue Raven has appeared, and I mean, we've got Doomsday, we've got a Daze, we've got a Cycler. We draw a Dark Ritual. This hand's not that good. We're playing for the 5-0. Do we actually keep this hand? So, like, my main concern here is that we're like a bit flooded on mana, but we do have crucially double fetch land, which would theoretically allow us to go fetch, pass, Underground Sea, fetch, Doomsday, which I think is nice against Wastelands. I'm going to keep this hand. Blue to Delta. Fetch. Okay. Is this going to be the Rug Delver call here? I'm feeling it. Nope. A blue Raven, a Thoughtseize. Yeah, Thoughtseize collapses this hand. No, I can already feel it slipping away. Thoughtseize just like collapses this hand. Give me the main deck Surgical Extraction too. Just fucking put me out of my misery. Oh, no. Okay. Well, we've got a Daze that they now know about. Maybe I was supposed to mull that hand. Nice thing is, we're playing against this blue-black deck. We got the Veils in the board. Maybe they're playing Doomsday. Wouldn't that be something? I don't know how I would feel about that. I'd kind of rather play against a Doomsday Mirror than play against anything else. I could have surveilled in the end step there, but I kind of just... I'm going to wait to do it till now, when we have a bit more mana underneath us. We've got lands for days. There's like a world in which I invite my opponent. Oh no, I smell Sultai Beans. We get to have our first Doomsday versus Sultai Beans experience on the channel, and we might just get punished by it. Ponder's fine. Okay, so Sultai Beans with Rashaka's Bargain. Rakshas's Bargain. I have a PhD in philosophy, and I can't pronounce anything. Give me some random Latin word, I might be able to say it, but give me a random magic card and I look like a fool. Yeah, there's the Wasteland that we've kind of been playing around. I mean, interesting. So what I could do here is get Undercity Sewers, put a Surveil trigger on the stack, and then Daze returning the Sewers. And then they have to like use their Wasteland to pay, in which case we can like replay the Sewers on our next turn, or I can just let this Thoughtseize go. They've given me this like opportunity to do this here. I don't know if this is actually good, but I'm going to do this. Petal can go to the bin. And then let's Daze the Thoughtseize. They'll probably pay with their Wasteland, then they can just take one of our Street Wraiths. And this at least gets us like, I guess, a bit deeper into our deck via surveilling. Oh my god. I mean, if they have a Bowmasters, this Ponder puts us in a rough spot, but I guess we'll take it. Assume they're going to fire off a Wasteland here. Is this an Uro? Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Yeah. No respect for my mana. Unless they've got a second Wasteland in hand. Yeah, never mind. They're respecting us. They respect us. I appreciate the respect. This opponent's avatar kind of scares me. I'm not gonna lie. There's something about it that's just ominous. It's just looking at me saying like, you wanted a 5-0, but I am not gonna let you have it. I actually don't know. Like, I haven't played much Doomsday against the Sultai Beans. God, there's no way that this Doomsday is gonna just like resolve, is there? P tootin'. A root tootin' toot. I guess I'll take the Daze. And then we'll see. Now, this matchup feels hard because they're going to have endurance too. They're going to have endurance, force of wills, thought seizes, consigned to memories. A lot of skippers to think about. Yeah. This wasteland is so problematic as well. Let's PT. Grab the Doomsday. Am I supposed to float this C in the face of a wasteland? They have to waste me, right? Like, ugh, it's so annoying. What am I doing? Let's do it. They're going to waste me eventually, right? I don't think they're going to like hold their mana for anything. They probably just fire off this wasteland on their turn at some point. There's no real reason to do it in our end step. What's this? A Bowmasters? Are they going to Bowmasters here? Oh, bargain. Rock Shasha's bargain. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Oh, that's so busted. That feels so much better to me than stock up. Like the fact that you can just play this. I mean, in bug, of course. It's like stock up might be better because of the two colorless poops, the two colorless pips. I don't want to. Oh man, I haven't played against Sultai Beans ever with this version of the deck. That might not be entirely true, but I think things get a little. Well, maybe they don't get better for us post board. We have the Veils in the board, which is nice, but might not be nice enough. Beanstalk. I'm gonna cycle Street Wraith in response here. Fetch for Underground Sea. I'm gonna hardcast Daze. If they're sandbagging, like Underground Sea into Thoughtseize, sure, Bob's your uncle. But I really don't want to get wastelanded. Yeah, they just let the beans go. Okay. Now they're wastelanding me. Yep. Oh, there's no way, right? Am I supposed to jam here? There's no way this resolves. They would have to be so unlucky for this to resolve. Yeah, force pitch bargain. I guess we try to find Daze, right? Daze? Nope. All right. And now I feel like, I mean, maybe I wasn't supposed to put it on the stack there. Like, obviously they're going to answer us, but here comes the Uro. We'll go to the next game. All right. All right. Cut Underground Sea. Cut Cabal Rituals. Cut a couple of personal tutors. We're on the play, so I don't mind a Daze. I think we can cut like 2 of the Street Wraiths. And then it's just a matter of finding one more card. What will that last card be? And sometimes it would be spoils, but we want the spoils here. I could play 61, but I don't want to do that. Sort by mana value. We could cut like another land, but like we could cut the basic swamp, I guess. But playing with stable mana against beans actually doesn't strike me as a bad thing at all. I don't really want to cut down below 4 cyclers though, because the cyclers are going to be pretty important. I guess we could go down to 1 tutor, but then like what's our blue count, right? Maybe I cut a force actually. Sort by color. Blue count 19. 3 force of wills. I think I'm fine with that. Okay. Huh. Is this hand good? The double veils is a little weird. If we get wastelanded, we're fucked. Is it crazy to ship this? I think I'm gonna keep. We really want to find a fetch land though. Like if they wasteland us on turn 1, we might have a non-game. But we can cycle the edge and then brainstorm. This is so risky, just floating out of sea like this. Okay, thank goodness. Step 1 complete. Step 2, dodge Thoughtseize complete. Draw fetch land. Daze. Okay, I'm going to fire the Brainstorm here before like Bowmaster gets in the mix. Rewarded, I think. I think rewarded. Back. Basic Island. And I guess a Veil of Summer. Play this. Play this. Pass. Hedge Maze. Beanstalk. Beanstalk is fine. Now, what's on top? There's another Veil. I'm going to go for the Gusto here. I'm getting Undercity Sewers. We're going to look for a Dark Ritual. A Petal's actually just as well. Will work just as well, I think. Then, now they've got the Beanstalk in play. We'll cast a Petal. We'll cast a Doomsday. We haven't made a land drop this turn yet either. There's the Force of Will. Pitch Rakshasha's Bargain. To which I believe we will respond with a Veil of Summer. To which they will respond with a Fawn. And this Fawn is targeting the Veil. To which we will respond with a Daze. And now, I think they're dead. We just drew the Brainstorm too. Insane. Insane. Absolutely fucking insane. Okay. I think they're just dead, right? Like, what could they possibly have? Endurance? Oh, they could have Endurance. Replay Underground Sea. Replay Underground Sea. Replay Underground Sea. Edge of Autumn into Lotus Petal. Brainstorm into Jace. Can we Jace them here? LED, Jace, LED, Jace, Lotus Petal, Lion's Eye Diamond, Cycler. Does this work? Sacrifice our land, draw Lotus Petal, play Lotus Petal, replay this. I think this works. This is what we're going to do. This should beat Endurance in the long run. So, that on the bottom, that, and that. Replay Underground Sea. Cycle. Play Lotus Petal. Cast Brainstorm. Put back Force of Will. Jace. Play Lion's Eye Diamond. Hold Control. Cycle Wraith. Crack this for triple blue. Crack that for a blue. Cast a Jace. Jace us. All right. And yeah, I think we go for the Jace there because if they Endurance, then at least we have a Jace in play. Jesus Christ. That was a 6-stack battle. Even if we lose this match, like that was fucking awesome. Being as we are now on the draw, would we like to consider any possible changes? Being as we are on the draw now, does the draw facilitate a Force of Will over a Daze? It might. I think this is how we'll run it. Oh my goodness. They didn't tap out for their beans there. That was a completely different game. Greedy, greedy beans. This hand does not strike me as really what we're looking for. A few too many cyclers. It's just too slow. We're going to mull it. I mean, this hand is sick. If I draw a Dark Ritual or a Lotus Petal, I could bottom a land. But if my opponent, I think, and just kill them, I think we just put the LED on the bottom, though. We'll just keep the lands. This hand's pretty gassy. If they thought sees us, though, it's not gassy. That's what's happening. We got to pray for a ponder. Everybody just pray for a ponder. Ponder, ponder. There's the thought sees. Now we are screwed. Yep. Yep. Play, draw, folks. Oh my god. So now this might be a repeat to the first game where we just get like shredded. But maybe we thought sees bug into a Doomsday, right? Maybe we thought sees bug into a Doomsday. Obviously take the Doomsday. I don't know. I think. All right, our turn. Draw. Okay, they do not know about this delta, right? Okay. I think I'm going to fire them back with a Thoughtseize just because maybe we can poke something that helps them get ahead. Okay. We could take the Force or we could just take the Ponder. I don't mind just taking Ponder. Although, yeah, I think I'm supposed to take the Ponder there. Leave them with the Force and we just kind of settle in. They don't got much going on. They just have a Carpeted Flowers and a Force of Will. Man, all to go. But like things go south the longer the game goes on. Let's consult our sideboard and determine whether we want to jam this Oracle. We do want to jam the Oracle. I think I'm going to grab Tropical Island here. That lets us like hard cast Edge of Autumn if we want. Well, let's cast an Oracle. We'll not put any of those on top. Those are not the skippers that we're really looking for. I go surveilling here. They kept the card on top. That's not good. It could be like a Rashaka's Bargain. Rakshas's Bargain. Fuck me. I'm going to have to learn how to say that. Do. 5-0 on the line, and we're not getting it today. I can feel like we both are kind of in the shit house, but the fact that they definitely have a blue card in hand now, so maybe I was supposed to take the Force, but at the time it did feel as though the Ponder is what we wanted to do. Beans. Beans. A Brainstorm? A Daze. Oh, that's so bad. Why do we have Daze in our deck? I mean, I boarded one out. It was certainly good in the last game, I'm not going to lie, but there's no way we spend 15 turns attacking them with a Thassa's Oracle, but we will damn well try. This helps with Devotion, too, in case we're in a tight spot against the Bowmasters, which is why I didn't mind playing it out there. What's this? Triple blue. The moment they cast a Rakshas's Bargain, we are just so far fucked it doesn't even matter. Murktide Regent. Oh, no. Well, it was nice knowing you, folks. It was nice knowing you. And now they have the Force blue card in hand. They've got Beans. So we have to find like Brainstorm. So we're going to go into the Sua here. There's Brainstorm. Okay. I think we'll begin by casting the Brainstorm. We'll put back a Dark Ritual and a Petal. And then we'll cast Edge of Autumn. to shuffle our deck. We'll grab basic swamp. And we'll pass. That was a terrible brainstorm. We have to shuffle the deck there, but now we don't have the cycler, so now we need like another brainstorm. This one wasn't meant to be. That Thoughtseize was so crippling. I think we have to keep that hand though. Like if they have like anything but Thoughtseize, we're in such a good spot there. What do they got now? Uro. Have mercy. We are getting slaughtered. That second game was incredible, though. It's looking like it's going to be another 4-0. Another 4-1 for us. 5 big boys in the sky. Go ahead, opponent. Forcible was a pretty good draw. But we don't have the cycler now, right? Because we had to burn the edge, which was crucial. Like, the edge is crucial to our success here. Ponder. Yeah. So I think in retrospect, we mulligan our hand in game 1. I should not have kept that hand in game 1. Mystic Sanctuary, buyback, ponder. Pump the Murktide. Sure. Are they like trying to find another couple of spells and a Murktide to kill us here? Don't think so. Taking 6, going to 5. All right, so now we need brainstorm into like Doomsday plus Cycler to have a shot here. Brainstorm. Brainstorm. Ponder. 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 Cast Ponder. Orcish Bowmasters. Sure. Things just got a lot more challenging. And that's not going to do it. GG's. GG's. So yeah, if we got a, oh, damn it. Is there a way I can return to that? There might be. Okay, so what we needed to happen there, I think, was ponder hits like brainstorm, I guess, but then we need to brainstorm into the Veil before we Doomsday. So then we need to cast brainstorm. We need to draw like Veil of Summer, Doomsday Cycler. Exactly. And then we have to cast the Veil in response to the Bowmaster pings on the brainstorm. We force their force, which they still have in their hand. Then cast the Doomsday. I think we would be at exactly 1. Then we would cycle down to the Oracle and win. But that was like, we needed literally the miracle brainstorm. In any case, again, the match 5 loss feels bad. It kind of feels bad when you're on the cusp of the 5-0 like that. But what can you do, right? We still got 5 treasure chests, a couple of these qualifier points, which I always seem to get like 2 less than what I need to join one of these events, because I just don't play enough to get them. But we'll see if we get there. That I will record if we do. And then 120 play points as per usual. So honestly, I'm pretty happy with the way that this list looks. I'm honestly pretty happy with the way that this list looks. The Sultai Beans match felt challenging, but it also kind of felt like the Veils in the sideboard give you a nice way to kind of fight in that matchup. Like you saw it in game 2. Game 2 especially, we like really won like a massive counter war using Veil of Summer. And so like honestly, this is the list that I've been the most satisfied with out of any that I've played recently. I am like in a way wedded to the idea of this list because it was basically what I played at Eternal Weekend and it served me very well there. But like it just feels comfy for me somehow to be playing this particular iteration of the deck. It feels well equipped to beat a lot of things in the format. The things that like, I mean, deep analysis might be good in certain spots, but at the 4 street rates are just like so good. I don't even know that you need like a Nice Whisper or anything like that. 2 Thoughtseize is a little low, but there are more Veils in the format now, and if opponents are playing like Sultai Beans again and Veils become even more prevalent out of like control strategies, then I think just having 4 discards across the 75 is fine. You might cut like a Cabal Ritual in favor of a Petal if you wanted. You might not need to play these additional petals in the sideboard, but this is like, I don't know, this is kind of like the guitar amplifier that has the knob that turns up to 11, right? Like the kind of Spinal Tap amp, or you just like, you're playing against these decks that aren't going, like Death and Taxes, for example, the green-white Depths deck, like those decks that we beat in this league, even Prison decks, Eldrazi, like just boarding in 2 more mana sources is so good if you like can mulligan to the right kind of hand, right? Like having 4 Petals, 3 Cabal Rituals, and 4 Dark Rituals means it's like pretty damn consistent for you to put a Doomsday onto the stack. But yeah, this is what I'm rolling with here. So you will probably see 2 videos with this deck, and I might just continue playing it for a little bit because this feels pretty comfy to me. Yeah, it's a real shame that we didn't beat the Sultai Beans in the last round there, but our opponent got us with that turn 1 Thoughtseize, which, to be fair, like we did have to kind of expect. But yeah, not much to say about that. In any case, this is the Semiotician signing out. If you've been enjoying the Legacy content, drop a like, drop a comment. If you do drop a comment, actually, like comment on corner case plays that you would like to see on an achievement list. This is something that I am going to do. An achievement list. That sounds really fun. I'm talking plays like kill your show and tell opponent by show and telling in Thassa's Oracle. Like that's an achievement that we unlocked today, right? Like other examples, like if we were playing Barrogoyfs, there could be one where it's like connect with Barrogoyf post Doomsday, like mill our entire pile, pick up Thassa's Oracle, and then use Cabal Therapy to sack the Barrogoyf to take their consign to memory and then play a Thassa. I want like plays like this, plays that don't come up very often, but that would be sweet when they do come up. And then if we ever find ourselves in a position where we can play to an achievement, that sounds like pretty fun. Although I wouldn't really be playing 2 achievements in the last round of that league because 5-0ing would have been sick. Again, maybe we just keep losing the last one to conceal the Doomsday technology, but I think it was a fun league. I think especially like the Bug Beans, the second game was like really cool. I think our match against Esper Control or Esper Tempo, whatever you want to call it, Esper Midrange, that was like a very exciting matchup where we got to do some cool things. Yeah, we did some neat stuff with Spoils of the Vault. Really like having this card in my deck. Like just the fact that it can sometimes beat Endurance. It gives you like optionality against Disruptor Flutes. It lets you beat things like Leovold, Narset, Hull Breacher, and Spirit of the Lab. Lots of applications with Spoils. And so like having it in the deck, recognizing like when to cast it. Like I think against that Esper Tempo opponent, right? Like where I forced their Brainstorm and then put Spoils on the stack for Dark Ritual. Like there was a world, right, where we just lose the game instantly to the Spoils of the Vault. But like if we don't make a move soon, right, we have almost perfect information of our opponent's hand. If we don't make a move soon there, like we're probably just going to lose the game. And we're going to lose the game over the course of like 6 or 7 more turns where they just like cross the threshold, they accumulate value, they whittle us down and then have too much that for us to fight through. So like, and then we like lose that game like 7 turns later, and then we would look back to that moment, right, and say, what happens if I cast Spoils of the Vault in that exact spot instead of just letting their Brainstorm resolve? I mean, there's a possible world where we lose the game there too, right? Because we Spoils and we fucking kill ourselves with Spoils. But if the Spoils doesn't kill us, we find the Dark Ritual, then we like are almost assured to win. And so I think like this league like really showcased the power of Spoils of the Vault, and we have been getting pretty lucky with it recently. It's been a few videos since I've killed myself with the Spoils, so there is an accident waiting to happen there. But it's just, yeah, like recognizing when to cast Spoils sometimes comes down to like feeling, right? So just know, right, like if you have the opportunity to Spoils into a win where you have almost perfect information, you've like Thoughtseize your opponent, whatever, like really consider whether or not you actually want to do that, and ask yourself, like, if the game goes on 5 or 6 turns, am I going to be in a better spot to win to put an Oracle on a stack than I am right now. And sometimes, right, like it's the case that you will not find yourself in a better spot, because by then the Kaito will have attacked like 3 more times, and they will have surveilled 6 more times and drawn 3 more cards in addition to the 3 others from their draw steps, right? Like these are all things to keep in mind. But Spoils of the Vault, certainly an all-star in that Esper matchup. I was really happy with how that one turned out. And I think that this sideboard juke is actually pretty cool and worth considering further. So in any case, yeah, sorry, I said I was already signing out, and then I just kept rambling on for for a little bit longer. But I hope you all have a wonderful day wherever you are, and we'll see you again soon for some more legacy or cube action. Cheers, everybody.